Hi, it's Keith, and in this brief video we're going to take a look at how you endorse people on LinkedIn. And as you can see, I'm here looking at the profile of Steve Mills, who's one of my first level connections. And Steve's a marketing guy and, like me, a LinkedIn trainer, and he lives down in Hampshire and works in the M4 corridor Reading area. So let's say I'm going to leave an endorsement for Steve as a LinkedIn trainer, and first thing we see is that right up there at the top of the profile I can either send a message to Steve or I can do a number of things with the drop down menu here, but the basic button here, the first thing that LinkedIn's encouraging me to do is to endorse Steve. Now I could go down and recommend him. I could do a bunch of other things, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the endorse option. So if I click that button, then it will take me down to a suggestion box. Let me just drag that down a little bit into view, asking me if I want to endorse Steve for the following skills or for the following expertise, and it gives me 5 options. Now they're all indicated here with a cross so I can take them off, but if I hit the endorse button now, I'm going to endorse Steve for all those 4 remaining skills. This is a little bit of a blunt instrument in that clicking that will give him 4 endorsements in 4 categories, but am I entirely sure that I want to endorse him for all these things? Maybe not. So let's skip that option. Oh, before I do, I could add something else in there that hasn't been offered to me as an option. So I could put in a new skill like exotic dancing. Now sometimes you can do this capriciously as a practical joke, but again I wouldn't recommend that, and certainly I have no idea whether Steve's a great exotic dancer or not, so I'm going to actually skip this stage. And LinkedIn's very keen on endorsements, so it's now offering me some other people who are my connections who I might wish to endorse for specific skills, such as I might want to endorse John here for whatever I've just endorsed him for. Didn't actually notice. So you can see how easy it is to endorse people for things that perhaps you didn't intend to, but that's not a problem. I can nip over to John's profile and cancel that endorsement, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So back to my intention to endorse Steve for LinkedIn training. So I'm going to move down his profile, down the page. Actually, I'm just going to pause this and go down there to stop motion sickness in my viewers. So here we are in the skills section, and you can see lots of endorsements here for Steve. And for the top 10 are shown with pictures of all the people who've endorsed Steve for particular skills or expertise. So I'm looking for LinkedIn training. Can't see it there specifically, so I'm going to carry on down and have a look in amongst the other skills underneath, outside the 10 that are featured there with pictures, and have a look and see if LinkedIn training's available there. And there it is down here, LinkedIn trainer. So I know Steve's a great LinkedIn trainer, and I'm going to endorse him for that. In a moment, let's see some other things. There's a whole bunch of other things. Steve's a very well connected guy, and he's been endorsed for lots of things. Some of these might overlap, and they're down the bottom here, and people aren't actually going to read through a lot of these things. So there's a LinkedIn speaker for endorsements, and here's a LinkedIn trainer. So really, that's not terribly helpful, and what I'd be inclined to do is to, as you can, delete a lot of these duplicates, crossover things, and things that aren't particularly helpful in illustrating what it is you do well. So back to LinkedIn Trainer. So if I want to endorse Steve for being a LinkedIn trainer, all I do is move to the right here, where there's a very faint greyed out cross, which will plus sign, which will turn dark blue when I hover over it with the mouse, and if I just click on that, you'll see the number has gone up to 11. If I click on LinkedIn Trainer, I'll be able to see other LinkedIn trainers, other results from LinkedIn who've come up with things similar to that, used it as a keyword, and of course up at the top of the list, because we're looking at my LinkedIn, I'm number one there. Just got myself chopped off and can't quite scroll up to show that, but there I am at the top of the list as another LinkedIn trainer. Now you'll recall that I clicked on an endorsement for John Edward semi-unintentionally, and so what I've done now is I've popped over to John's profile. John's another one of my first degree connections, and he's a mortgage expert, and I can see over here is my little mugshot there, and I've actually endorsed him for small business. I don't find that terribly meaningful, so I don't really think I want to endorse him for that. So here I've got my little blue underline, and I'm going to go over, and as I move over, that plus moves into a minus, so I can now remove my endorsement from John. So that's done, but what I do know is that John's a fantastic mortgage broker, and so I would like to add an endorsement for that. Quite happy to do that because I'm confident that that's genuine and he's really good at what he does. So in goes an endorsement there for John, taking his total up, and as I move off that, you can see my little picture there's gone in as an endorser. So that's how you give people endorsements on LinkedIn. As usual, my recommendation is don't give endorsements or recommendations unless you genuinely know that the person is good at what they do, and certainly don't give them in the expectation that you'll get one back, because that's not what it's about. So I hope you find that useful.